one more best of 7 to decide who makes it to top 8.
It has been a tough road for both squads. KRU and Falcons losing to European teams. PDS taking down Falcons, KRU losing to Liquid. Now, all your chips are on the table. One best of 7 is left for both of them to get to the top 8. Saudi Arabia versus Brazil. We're underway.
And how do you handle that type of pressure on your shoulders? The entire region looking at this series, hoping you can prove your worth, your value. And certainly the argument can be made that both teams have done that, but making a top 8 run is something special, and booking your ticket to Sunday.
You're looking at KRU. You're looking at Brad. The last time Falcons and KRU met up in Wildcard, they got smashed in the first half of that series. And really, Brad was having issues staying alive in the rotations. Oh, to those for Brad. He's got to clean up that back line. He has to be the reliable third man for KRU in this series.
And I think this is a very interesting series, given the fact that they have played in that wild card stage. KRU, to be honest with you, Jorby, they had a horrible start to that game. 3-0 in favor of Falcons at the beginning of that best of 7. KRU did end up getting 2 games after dropping so many, but a slow start like that again on the main stage, in the main event. I don't think any team right now is going to get a reverse sweep in this best of 7.
Falcons, they haven't looked this good since, I mean, really you got to go the whole way back to London last season when they made it the whole way to the grand finals. That's the type of form that TRK and company are in. Behind the ball, Ahmad, push it down. Right now, it's a dead game for both teams. No one able to put on pressure.
And we expect a tug of war right now between both teams, which is what we're seeing. Rafinho off the ceiling wanted a solo play, and there's going to be more needed out of KRU Esports. I think the focus on the challenge game is more important than simply trying to outpace Team Falcons. If you're KRU, sending 1 player forward isn't enough, but 2 in the mix certainly is.
That's a good start for KRU. A nice pass downfield, catching TRK out, who ended up having to backflip, realizing he wasn't going to get to that first 50. But TRK came up expecting a challenge the whole way in the attacking corner from Ahmad. It doesn't come, and they get a hard pass. KRU take advantage.
And we even got a nice little fake there. I believe it was Brad behind the ball. It looked like he was going to get a touch and send it to the corner. Left it for the striker. But how about this quick pass in between Team Falcons? TRK and Ahmad trying to do a bit of passing themselves.
KRU back on defense. Rafinho gets a couple of touches. TRK looking for a way in. Khaled turns on the ball. Brad's able to push it away. KRU spends some more time here in the orange half.
TRK has been a menace, especially against KRU. 1.17 goals per game. Shutting him down on the defensive side is critical out of KRU Esports. Here's that man behind the ball. What's he going to do with it, Jorby?
He's got no boost here, has to let it go. And KRU have the box defended for now, but still they're not in possession. That's a long pass. TRK gets it across. A bit jagged there from Falcons. Now KRU downfield. Brad, hard shot. Goal for Brad.
And this is the perfect counterattack. Rafinho, look at this first touch. Gets around 1 player. Ahmad could have challenged it, left it for Rafinho to find Brad all the way on the opposite side. 2-0. Perfect start for KRU.
It's a pair of long passes for KRU and just hard shots from the midfield line that go in. The KRU not having to work too hard in the blue half to get those goals, catching Falcons out on a couple of those opportunities.
Doesn't look like they're focused on sustaining pressure at this moment. Instead, finding solid counterattacks to break down Team Falcons. This is a much different approach from KRU in comparison to their first matchup in the wild card. Very composed.
Ahmad looking for a way out, drops in the front of the rotation. Brad next up, or Rafinho, excuse me. Rafinho back over to Brad, denied. TRK right there, but a ball for drops. Voids 1. KRU can't really find a way in yet, but they're hunting along the midfield line.
The passing that we need. You'll notice not a single player wants to play selfishly out of KRU. Haven't gotten solo play opportunities. Doesn't matter. They're finding the vision, finding the space between each other, and that's what's led to such a perfect game number 1.
Ball rips it out to the corner of Falcons territory. Now this series starting out a little differently than game 1 did the last time these two teams met. It was an offensive shootout, but it's KRU now doing all the shooting. Falcons not able to generate any offense in the first 4 minutes of gameplay.
Oh, but here comes Ahmad. He wants to get a little bit creative on offense. TRK, he put in work previously and had a top corner slot saved out by Rafinho.
Khaled Protect the back end, give TRK a little bit of time, but his boost just got stolen. Trevino on the ball. Trevino
Nice 50.
bounces it right over one, bumps the second out of net. It's up to Ahmad to stabilize things on defense. Drops just trying to force the ball off of him. And KRU will do just that, but there's a free shot and a demo, and it's way wide, easy for KRU.
Ahmad just didn't want to turn the corner. Instead, rotating out. Another counterattack opportunity. It's wide off the post. It doesn't matter. You just want to run the clock down. Team Falcons have to get a goal if they want to stay in contention in game number 1.
The high ball here for Falcons. Leaving it for Khaled. Khaled couldn't do anything to control it, and it's taken away again.
Trevino,
Brad back
double
to Trevino.
tap.
And the board was
Oh, he got
covered,
it.
but Ahmad missed it. He had no boost.
Huge whiff off the backboard. Ahmad, he had so much time to set this up. I think he jumped to find that backboard landing, and with no boost in the tank, you're not gonna find a touch. 3-0 for KRU.
Just comes down to those challenges earlier. Turtle, you talked about how good Falcons were in that challenge game, in their previous games, but this time, they're not winning them. They lost those passes in the midfield. Hard shots beat them in game number 1.
Well, it's mainly because KRU have hit the brakes in this first game, Torby, against Team Falcons. A completely shift in their strategy and their approach, slowing the game down. You can tell it's messing with Team Falcons. Their rotation's not able to find a touch on the backboard. That represents all of game 1 in my mind. And I do believe this is also the first game 1 that Falcons have lost all tournament long. This is gonna be a difficult one, considering they're not on that fiery start.
That's just a testament to how good Falcons have been in this tournament. The fact that that's the first time they actually lose the first game, and they generated absolutely zero offense. 4 shots on target. That's not going to get it done against KRU, but I talked about Brad a little bit. Brad got to every single touch that he was behind.
Yep.
Didn't end up panicking. Falcons never really had an ability to generate that pressure.
Right.
And now here we are. KRU, they start off on the right wheel, Turtle, and that was the most important factor for this Brazilian team.
And how good must that feel on the main stage to win the first game? I mentioned it earlier. They lost the first 3 games in their series against the Falcons. And to prove people wrong, they're clearly the underdogs in this matchup. KRU have found their rhythm early on in the series.
Now, fans all around and behind us, cheering on KRU and Falcons. For Falcons now, it's all about the recovery. A team that has had some of the best offense in the tournament. Getting shut out in game 1, they're gonna have to find something a little new to get by this KRU squad.
And I still think it comes back to that point, Jorby, we were talking about. Those 50-50s, the challenge game from Falcons was so good previously. Ahmad, maybe with a flip reset, he could spark a little bit for Team Falcons.
Brad trying to go for the bump. He's had a lot of success on air dribble bumps in the tournament.
Oh, yeah.
To connect on one there, Trevino taking it up against TRK on the wall. A lax rotation here from Brad, but now he's gonna push forward. Goes for the soft touch, not great control. Falcons gonna get out here.
This is a chance now for Ahmad, who's again behind the ball. This man seems like he could do no wrong previously. A bit slow, not finding the proper solo challenges. He's looking for a bump off the backboard. Good aggression from Team Falcons as they've got their first possession.
Gotta think KRU, they definitely want to prove to people that their last top 8 the whole way back to San Diego wasn't a fluke. And they're able to pick up the save. Brad first, drops again on the follow-up. Trevino, not a lot of boost. It's best, but not much you can do with TRK lying in wait. Drills through one, straight down off the board, and wow, that one works out for KRU.
Bit of a blunder for KRU Esports on the defense. 3 players in the same spot, but thankfully they do find a touch to the corner. Pressure still mounting for Team Falcons. Ahmad, flip reset, pass in the midfield, sniped out by Trevino, and what a touch that is.
TRK expecting that play to flush to the left side of the rotation. Ends up going out to the right. He's got to make up for lost time, and that just wastes more boost. Everyone's refueled now, though, on Falcons, and they still have the ball. Gonna push it back to the right side. KRU starting to get a little pressured here by Falcons, but they're still getting to the thirds. It's not too much for them to handle.
It looks like KRU have absolutely upgraded their armor on the defense, not letting one in, even with the bumps, even with the demos, and here they are on offense, wanting to build some type of strategy against Falcons, unable to have a good form of possession. The double tap from TRK. This man flying high.
Welcome to the lobby, TRK. You were wondering when this was gonna happen. Shorely off the ceiling, perfect read on the double, and Brad, a tough angle to come up across. Didn't have a good launch, TRK takes him out.
There were multiple moments for Team Falcons where we expected better mechanics maybe it just took game one to get warmed up because that was on another level.
Breakout opportunity for Falcons. Now a chance to hold on to this lead. TRK has been an offensive powerhouse in this tournament. Get it going again for Ahmad. Ahmad, reset for him, but well followed again by KRU. Taking the ball away from him on the backboard, a clear out. Falcons are forced to come back, but now KRU are missing the boost part of the equation.
And they're missing that midfield boost in particular that you were talking about, Jorby. TRK from the backboard, Rufinho, good touch, not finding anybody. They're getting clears, Jorby, but not to any specific teammate. Even this one from Brad keeps it close because of the demo, but that's not enough to mount something on offense. We need more out of KRU in the transition game because Ahmad is very, very hungry for that second goal.
Drops got in the way, the last one. Khaled can't set up TRK. KRU are all over it. Oh, the leave for Brad to go for the dump downfield. It's just going to give Falcons a chance to return fire. Where can they go? All of KRU pulled back. And one pass for Falcons gives KRU possession again on the reset, and the ball, and Drops gets through!
Brad, just send this man forward, let him do all the dirty work, and Drops will pick up the pieces, flip reset over TRK, and Brad deletes that goalkeeper.
Brad came up from behind, Drops on that side of the field, recognizing immediately on the wall, just turns off Cam, and he's going, opening up the gap. Big response from KRU. Falcons looking for another opportunity, but again, while they've spent time in the third turtle, the opportunities have been few and far between, not just for them though, for both teams.
Well, it's mostly because Falcons have gotten increased awareness for the counterattacks, but hold on a second, a lot of space. TRK had to dodge the demo. Rufinho, not the best shot, but there's no more counterattacks out of KRU Esports. Falcons definitely patched a couple of holes.
KRU starting to get some of these touches, keeping possession. Rufinho keeping it close. Khaled trying to box him out in the corner. He gets stuffed by Drops. Rufinho gonna let Brad come in. Brad off one, gonna wait. Not gonna get anything else out of it. Rufinho on the 50. Brad got a demo on the backside. Drops has to stay back. He sees TRK, puts him back on defense. Uh-oh, he's still gotta make the save. KRU are able to follow it back up, but the space is few and far between for them in the third. He gets deleted. Drops just trying to force Falcons to give up the ball.
Back and forth game. Good clears on each side. For the past 2 minutes, it felt like KRU domination, but it has definitely flattened out. Falcons behind the ball. Once again, TRK. Good 50 to the right side. Khaled, more space for him, but he pre-jumps into it, a bit eager to get that ball across.
Ahmad, only 38 here. Just trying to force the 50. He's got it. TRK quickly up the wall. What a scoop. Can they generate something off of this? Ahmad gonna collect the boost. Gonna let it bounce. Taking some space, letting TRK develop it in front of him off the wall. Drops in some trouble. Goal for TRK!
And you feel for Drops in this situation. He's got to do so much work. He just picked up that corner boost. Brad doesn't get the best 50-50. And while Drops did find a touch, he can't get the follow-up. No challenge, no effort. And Falcons take the lead.
Great job from Ahmad, letting that play develop in front of him, letting TRK create a little bit of chaos in front of the net.
Reset.
KRU though, here they come up again on offense. Weak shot, not gonna get it done. Brad trying to cut the counterattack off.
And at this moment, KRU, they have to risk something. Counterattacks have not been fruitful. Holding possession has been at least an option for them, but with 8 seconds left, they've got to make a move.
Well, but Falcons are the ones moving them around. Rufinho, not a lot here. Looking downfield for Drops, but it's covered. Ahmad already in the sky. Brad drops it down, and Falcons tie the set.
And this is what we expected out of Team Falcons. These guys, the original kings of MENA, coming out, controlling the nerves. Game one did not look comfortable at all. The defense would extend too far forward with that third man. KRU were able to exploit it. And coming out in game number two, things completely did a 180.
Oh, when we look at the scoreboard in a second here.
Don't talk about it. Don't mention it.
Both.
Well, you can talk about TRK.
TRK getting MVP, 609 points. But we'll wait for that scoreboard to come back up here for Falcons. KRU, not bad from them on defense, but again, the struggles came in generating opportunities. We talked about that struggle for both teams. TRK has been the can opener for Falcons. He's generating these opportunities. Ahmad and Khaled helping out. Ahmad having that one solid assist, but you look at the scoreline and it tells you everything you need to know about TRK's effort here.
He's just been a statistical monster, especially against KRU Esports. In my opinion, he was the reason why they won their initial matchup. And this guy just does not miss when behind the ball. We saw the opening goal, that solo play, both goals also to his name. The reason why they were able to bounce back, and it's gonna be off of his shoulders if they wanna carry that momentum into game number 3.
TRK, Ahmad and Khaled, they keep this momentum going. KRU, they've had some responses. Now it comes down to how do you maintain that pressure. I'd like to see Drops, who sits in the front of that rotation a lot. He still was, but wasn't as effective. Falcons were cutting them off high in the air. Drops not able to find those go-ahead lanes that KRU found in game 1.
All about creating some type of space. And they were doing that in the transitions, but like I mentioned in the last game, Falcons have patched up the defense, not allowing any counterattacks to come in or even look optimal for KRU Esports. But here's a counterattack, Drops behind one. Brad's also looking for the demo, but Ahmad by himself on the goal line, under pressure, gets the save.
Swift move from Drops, but Falcons able to parry him right off the line. Trevino, hard boomer, and there, downfield. Oh, did he get it for Drops? Another shot, and then Trevino just beats the defense.
And a little part of me wishes that this initial shot from Drops would have been in. He got the flip reset, almost got that double tap, but Trevino's got his back covered, and with just one little flip reset, a counterattack, KRU Esports taking the first goal.
And KRU, again, that wild card, knowing how badly it had gone for them, they could only recover halfway through the series. This time, trading blows with Falcons, meeting them at their level instead of feeling like they need to keep up at their level. Everyone on KRU contributing, but Falcons gonna make them work for every single inch.
And I'm also not seeing KRU extend too far forward and try to abuse the speed. Nice pass out to the midfield. Ahmad, unfortunately, met by a goalkeeper, and a good 50-50. Those moments were not happening previously for KRU, as Drops has to backflip off the ceiling, and down in front of their net it goes.
I believe it was Trevino got demoed on the back end. He gets harassed by TRK, and the pop-up, Trevino would have been the one to end up going for that, and another bump from TRK. Falcons outboxing KRU right now.
I mean, they're just sending TRK forward and letting him do all the damage and easily clean up with some tap-in goals. Here he is again, behind the ball. What more does he have to offer? Another bump opportunity. It's just gonna be a solo play.
Oh, you see TRK in the air with space. That's something nobody on the other team wants to see. A perfect reset, tap on the side, Brad. No chance for him. And Falcons, how about that for the game-leading goal?
At this point, you've got to keep your head on a swivel for that man, TRK, in specifics. He has been so lethal behind the ball. Every shot, every 50-50 going in favor of Team Falcons. Certainly the game changer on the blue side.
Pushed out again here by Khaled. KRU looking for a way out.
TRK.
Oh, just saved by Trevino. That shot, TRK, really a threat in front of the box. Here he comes again. That's just a high ball, though. Nothing more he could do. And KRU forced to go wide on defense.
TRK.
Brad protects his own boost. TRK forcing the shuffle step out of Brad, but KRU are able to deny them for now. Ahmad tries to get underneath. Brad just hits him, has to use all his boost to do it. Corner boost spawns for him. They bump Khaled out of the way, but TRK is there to knock out the midfield.
There's no transition whatsoever for KRU Esports, and a chokehold in their own corner. Can't get out, can't find boost. This clear, is it gonna go their way? Of course, denied by Ahmad. And Falcons sitting comfortably in game 3.
A little space here for Drops. What's he got? Up high, leaving it for Brad. Back to Drops. Drops trying to force the 50. Trevino lurking closely, but TRK now behind the ball. And Trevino tries what he can to block the 50 out. The rest of KRU had to rotate behind him. But where is the follow-up from KRU?
Where's the defense? It's getting picked apart by one man in particular, TRK. He must have been scared. Brad was in the net, expected Ahmad to take a shot earlier on. One fake and one shot gets them the third goal.
Trevino or Brad back into the net, Drops over in the corner, but they're playing the 50 in the midfield. Somebody's got to be ready for that follow-up. They can't just let two players on Falcons play free ball in the third.
Yeah, and if there's one team in this tournament who knows how to punish with fundamental rotations, it is 100% Team Falcons. These guys barely miss a beat, barely miss a step, and they're showing you just how frustrating that can be to play against. Your defense has to be flawless. Brad, under 2 minutes to go. Can he get his team back in?
KRU looking for it. Just trying to keep it away, but does not want to give Falcons any more possession. Back behind it again, Ahmad cuts rotation. Coming back in, TRK on the wing. Looking for what might be the winner. A fourth goal, but KRU are done. It drops! Full field clear! Right into the Falcons' net!
Across the entire pitch, this started in front of his goal, and he took it to the other side. Full field air dribble. They're within one.
Well, TRK was opening things for Falcons. Drop is trying to burst it wide for KRU, but they need one more. And now Drops a little bit of space. TRK in front. Drafinho on his wing. That's been tough. The challenge game has become a lot cleaner from Falcons. Drafinho back underneath. Khaled takes it.
They're taking the boost too.
Brad's got it underway.
This is a good chance, but what a deny from Team Falcons. TRK, 50-50 all the way to the other side. That's going to waste more and more time. Let his teammates get boost. But KRU are starting to set up another counterattack play. Of course, deny.
That's a quick response there from Brad. They set that up for the air dribble bump. Quick follow-up off the ceiling. KRU starting to hunt. Have enough in their sights. Falcons have been able to get to every touch. Still getting there. Khaled forced on the wall. One deleted, that's Ahmad. He'll be a little delayed, but KRU taking their time.
They got the demo as well. This could lead to something for KRU Esports. They need an answer. 40 seconds to go. TRK got the bump. Now he's gonna steal the boost. Opt to go back on the backboard. And it's a passive approach, just keeping this ball deadlocked in the corner.
Surprised Brad was able to get another chance at that ball. He slapped it into TRK. It'd make it hard for him to catch it out, but now KRU might have the break. Brad slips over, TRK's there.
Drops in the air, in the midfield, nice first touch, but he doesn't have the boost to follow it. Brad's making some damage. Drops, 1v1 solo play opportunity.
Back again to Drafinho, tries to force it out. Next is up is Brad. Drops on the wing, looking for it with 10 seconds left.
Oh, Khaled, nice 50-50. There's still space off the backboard. This could be it. Drops is harassing the net. The final shot comes through, but it's not strong enough, and there's still a chance.
He had one free touch. It was too hard, and it's into the ground. Falcons take the lead.
And they had to earn that one. KRU Esports absolutely setting up a camp in their own half, going for demos, trying everything, throwing the entire toolkit at that defense on Falcons.
And KRU, at the end, you like the resurgence at the end. Drops, starting to create opportunities with his mechanics, forcing those 50s into awkward spots. The rest of his team followed. The confidence followed. They just couldn't deliver that final goal.
Yeah, that's the way you want to lose a game.
That's funny to say.
To be honest with you, if you're
loss.
If you're going to drop a game, you want to end it on that note and bring that same energy into the following matchup. This is just so tense. Think about the season being on the line, and we do get a timeout for KRU, so I guess I was completely wrong. All the energy, you just want to stop, take a minute, and relax a bit, Jordan.
Look, there's a bit of panic when TRK is behind this ball in the third. Everyone pulls back a little bit, and that's what was happening to KRU in their series against Liquid. Anytime Liquid were behind the ball, KRU just pulled back. Like they were scared to go for the ball. Yeah. They started this series not scared against Falcons, but as soon as TRK is turning the jets on, all of a sudden they're looking at him, waiting for him to come forward. But if you're waiting for TRK, you're gonna have a bad time.
And with the performance that he's been giving all of us here in the stadium, you can't give that man that type of space. He will, simply put, destroy your defense with the mechanics, the 1v1 plays, and even when he's not behind the ball, he's getting demos, Jorby, being involved as much as possible on offense. KRU Esports, how do they find a comfortable position where they're not just pulling back, rotating, prioritizing a rotation to the net, but instead to the challenge, to whoever's taking the shot?
Credit to Ahmad as well, doing a lot of dirty work to keep these plays going, to create those openings, because it's not just the challenges that are working for Falcons.
You know why
it's the boosting, the positioning. I know why Falcons what, Turtle? Tell me.
I mean, you know why Falcons are confident too. They won the initial series on this matchup. They didn't have a good game one. They didn't even need a timeout. I mean, honestly, after how game one looked, it looked rough for them. I didn't know if they'd even get back into it. It was the first time they'd lost game one, but they found their footing. And the crowd here, the PSD Bank Dome, is getting louder and louder by the second.
They're finding their voice. It's been a tense one. Not a lot of high-flying action, but a gritty game of 50-50s, of out-positioning the other, of finding the space where there doesn't really seem to be a lot of it. And now KRU, they've taken their time out. Gotta find a way to tie it now.
Oh, this is a good start too. Drops, stole the boost. Leaving for a follow-up out of Drafinho, and he's just trying to go crazy in this corner. But oh no, this man behind the ball, you don't want to give him space. Why does this keep happening?
Brad is stuck, he's frozen, he's waiting for a challenge from his teammate, but then there's a Falcon right there who plucks him right out of the net, and it opens the door for TRK. A beautiful play from Falcon.
And you were absolutely right. You mentioned Ahmad doing the dirty work in that play. Yes, it's flashy, it's beautiful from TRK, but you know who's on the ground in the trenches doing more work? It's Ahmad, going for bumps, creating the space for TRK.
Falcons, they stuff KRU's timeout with a quick goal in the first minute. And again, space for TRK. Has to close this one down, not a lot of boost. Sizes up his rotation. Just tries to play the 50, he gets it over. Drufinho forced back to the opposite side.
Let's see how they transition. Drufinho behind the ball, focusing on your 50-50s. It's much better cleaned up from that last series. Drops above Ahmad. Still looking for another challenge. Can't take the boost. TRK, good recovery.
Whoa.
And just like that, Falcons already on their way out.
Drops. It's a little time to look at this one. He opened the gate for KRU last time, but he gets bumped off the ball on his air dribble. Drufinho backing up. It's a good 50. You see Khaled getting harassed on the back line. Drops trying to create a little more chaos. Brad diving from the midfield line. He at least gets the touch. Drufinho faking the first challenge. Gets it back to the opposite side, but KRU are still struggling to find a rhythm.
But I do like the fact that we're getting a little more risk out of KRU. I've seen Drops linger more, stay on the offensive side, hopefully get in front of that clear out of Falcons to hold on to any amount of pressure. Here he is again. Drops is going to extend the rotation, look for a demo, but second man, slow in rotation, gets a 50 off the ceiling, and it's back to the hands of Falcons.
Drops just taking it to the wall. Not a lot of boost to work with, but he makes the pass work. Trying to get it across. Brad struggling a little bit, but the ball finds his way to him. TRK, a couple of tough 50s, and he gets the ball back to Falcons for another clear.
Just don't feel a lot of threatening attempts or opportunities for KRU Esports. Right now, they've only got one shot, good possession. Maybe at this point, they're just trying to prioritize that possession and eventually take the risk, go for the demos, catch Falcons off guard.
Some space again for TRK, just getting to it was Drops. And KRU starting to lose the boost battle here. Drops having to extend more just to get a clear out. Finds his teammate though, everybody low on KRU. Drufinho finally picks up a canister. Another 50 for KRU. Looking for a bump with Drops, but again, Falcons making life difficult.
Oh no, Ahmad. He had space to himself, and I'm looking at the top right, Jorby. Look at the boost counter. The boost meter for everyone on KRU Esports is so low. They're gonna need to rely on these counterattacks with the amount of defense they've played. Good 50 from Ahmad. And back down to the orange half.
You see Drops, he's trying for that 50, too low behind the ball. Ahmad knows, drill into the ball as hard as possible. You're gonna win it! We're talking about 50-50s, and Drufinho gets all 100.
You hold on for long enough, and a little bit of luck, a little bit of fortune might come your way. Dunking Khaled, and it's also flying straight into their net.
You take what you can get for KRU. The 50s have not gone your way. Eventually one works, and that can be enough to reset the mind here. Falcons, quick on the kickoff.
Mad.
Oh, what a move!
Over one. Oh! Look at the finesse, that first touch. Beautiful.
He's too slick, Turtle. He takes it off the ceiling, gets it underneath. Oh, what a pretty goal.
Just a nice little cut under the ball, chip it over one defender. And I'm not even worried about that second man rotating in. Ahmad, it's not TRK behind the ball this time.
Ahmad in the front. TRK trying to punch him back even further. Less than 2 minutes here for KRU to get it going again. Looking for the pass, a little fake out from Drops.
50.
But wow, what a 50 again from Ahmad. Gets the catch, so speedy. He's beating the whole KRU team by himself. Here he goes,
free net.
A quick grip, looking for the pass. Oh, the shake-up almost caught him out, but somehow KRU get back in time.
He tried to shift gears on the backboard, hit the brakes. He found that pass in the midfield. Unfortunately, just didn't want to take the shot, or also didn't have the angle to do so. Regardless, it was a good play, good hold from the Falcons on defense. 1:16 on the clock. KRU, they got that one dunk play, but haven't created too many chances besides it.
KRU should handle this one, but how do they handle Falcons offense?
Brad.
The ceiling, nothing there.
TRK booming to the other side, just wants to apply pressure, run the clock down again. This has been such a repeated approach and a 50-50 on the goal line. It looked dangerous, but KRU somehow still within one.
You gotta be so careful on the goal line. It's so easy to get dunked. Ahmad winning another 50. TRK following him up. Drops coming across. And Khaled, I feel like we barely said his name, but with how much work Ahmad and TRK have done, he's happy to just sit back and let his boys work. Another pass for KRU, and another cutoff for TRK.
Doesn't need to do much, but you know who does? KRU. One goal required just to even the score line. They cleared to the opposite side, KRU Esports. What else do they have? This feels so flat. Something has to budge on offense.
It might come with drops. He gets the bump on Khaled, but TRK was also there. Brad trying to crash it. Trevino tries to make his way through, but there's nothing there for KRU. They look for an opening, but they just find one giant wall. Falcons, are they gonna hold him here at the end of 0? Khaled stuffing it, the rotation again. Stuffs everybody, and he shows up at the end. But a bounce on the ramp. One more try for drops. He ain't giving up yet.
I like this attempt. Flip reset. Over one for Phoenix up in the air. Flying high. Another 50-50. And somehow they've kept it up, Jorby.
Oh, he let it go! Oh, he let it go. He drove away from it. You gotta pop that one up. You did everything right. You got the catch on the ramp on your own half.
They did the work, Jorby.
You gotta talk. You gotta talk, Turtle.
The communication has been plaguing them all series long. It feels like this has been a completely different approach. Yes, it looks better on defense, but at what cost? They've sacrificed everything on the offensive side to put up a closer game against the Falcons.
They're getting outwitted. They're getting outbrained. They're getting outpositioned. They're getting out-50'd. And there's just nothing for KRU. They're losing the boost. They're not able to command pace of play. It feels like Drops is the only one who's able to break anything through. And you need Trevino to be that shot guy, that striker. But he's been ineffective. And Brad, invisible. KRU, they need to be here. This is it, Turtle.
I can feel the frustration right now, and you can understand why. You're looking at the series, what's going on. KRU have the foundation, the fundamentals are there. I don't think there's any denying that. If you're stopping TRK when he's looking that good a couple of times, that's enough. They're getting transitions. When they find themselves on the other side, what more do they have? There's no wrist, there's no bump, there's no Brad air dribble bump, there's no Drufinho solo play opportunity. We've only seen a good 50-50 and or dunk, if you want to call it that, and nothing else from KRU Esports.
You saw a shot of the blue wall, no doubt, getting ready for the next match with K-Core Bank Complexity, but we may have one or more games left here in this one. Falcons have played so cleanly past game 1. And they keep it going. This is part of what's been so difficult for almost every team here to beat them.
The last hope for South America. The last hope for MENA. One of them looks to be dominant in this series, but it's not over yet.
Drops. Got the catch and loses the ball. Not much for him. Ahmad crashes in front. And a shot, a bouncer, a little tough. Brad can just get there in time. Falcons are gonna wait.
And it's all about keeping these shots unexpected for Falcons. I like the bounce idea from TRK. Getting creative in the midfield. Drops also pre-jump. Wrists like that are needed. And he's been the only player starting something on offense.
Ahmad, hard pass to TRK. He wanted the juice, but couldn't quite find it. Khaled, a slow touch. That's not actually a heavy touch.
Brad,
and a
counterattacks are back.
And there he goes! These are the only goals that KRU are getting. But when they get them, they nail them.
And it's clean. Similar to game 1. A nice clear out to the opposite side, and then a booming shot from the midfield. Accuracy on point, power on point, and KRU Esports gain the lead.
Still feel like KRU are gonna need a little bit more than that.
Oh, no.
And that's why. That's exactly why. Falcons, they've owned the majority of these kickoffs. And while KRU hasn't got punished yet, this time a perfect kickoff for Falcons.
Think about the last game, Jorby. As soon as KRU were able to get that dunk goal, immediately slapped back down to earth by Team Falcons.
That's just Falcons. They've gone for that kickoff in the past. It's so lethal when they execute it, when you get the 50 right, and it just jets out right to your teammate. A perfect shot as well. And you gotta love that from Falcons. What a play.
Here we go. Back to where we started. Step number 1. All tied up. KRU in the backboard. Drops was harassing the goalkeeper. And here comes Drufinho as well. The physical plays have been stepped up, but it's not shaking up the defense.
There's been almost no physicality from KRU overall. They do blow through one.
Drops,
kicks it really hard. Seeing Khaled on, and Brad off the bar and out. No goal, low shot, saved by Ahmad, are pushed across again, but popped up in front. Are Crew gonna respond? They have to wait for Ahmad. Brad was trying to get that midfield boost. Drops up next, can't get the 50. Crew starting to find a way, a rhythm, but can they force it in front of the box?
The rhythm is there. The flurry of shots have come through for KRU Esports, but as soon as I say that, there's a clear for Team Falcons. Sustaining pressure looks to be impossible, and TRK, whoa, immaculate touch in the midfield. Ahmad, just too slow.
Another one for Khaled, some space. Just punches it again. Still Ahmad coming across, expecting the flush to the right. Now he comes back right in the rotation. Wins another 50. Ahmad has been so clinical in the midfield.
But here comes Rufinho, flip reset, solo play. When is he
whoa,
gonna
whoa.
come alive? Brad also bid on that. Communication. Just messing up here for KRU Esports.
That's killed Crew the entire tournament, the communication. Running into each other. Someone expecting the ball, go for the ball, and the other expecting them to go as well, and no one getting the touch. And now another boomer. Who are still tied up, but these little things are killing them.
And when you're not on the same page, Torby, you can't find several shots in succession. It might be a burst of one or two, but continuously hammering the net of Team Falcons has not been a possibility for KRU Esports.
Another hard shot forces the save out of Ahmad, and another big clear. Crew are good for one shot.
One shot,
a big
maybe,
clear forces them
maybe
back.
two.
Drops has to wait.
But it's still all tied up. This is anybody's game, and a must-win for KRU Esports, a must-win for South America at the World Championship. Ahmad behind the ball. They've got to develop something themselves if they want to win this and get this game over.
It is again, Brad trying to get back to the ball, but it's right onto Ahmad's car. Crew are able to punch the ball out. Still tied up, have stabilized. Khaled deleted, hard shot again, trying to bump them out. Finally some demos for Crew and a little bit of pressure.
But the demos never work. Even if you're harassing the goal line, Falcons have remained calm this entire series. TRK, we've seen what he can do before. What a quick deny, and that's got to be a big statement for KRU.
Still getting to the 50s in the corner though. Little boost steal. Khaled with nothing in the tank. Brad can come in, force it across. There he is, but saves again. Both commit from Falcons. It's a free ball in the third. Drops can't do anything with it.
Falcons are so fast to get back in rotation. It looks like they're sending two. It looks promising for KRU Esports, but there's always a player in the spot to get the dunk, to find the save, and save Falcons from disaster.
Who are trying, they're trying to find an angle. They're diving for it. They can feel the frustration. Brad, two touches, but he just missed it. Shot denied again, TRK!
The defense, it can't break for the Falcons.
Not over though.
What else?
Back in the corner, they protect their own boost.
TRK, nice solo, 50-50.
Back to Ahmad with a big clear.
One massive clear, needs to relieve some type of pressure, but a good response from Drops.
Trying to open that play. Rufinho, can he get it across? At the end of regulation.
Are they gonna do it?
Falcons have had some struggles getting clears, but TRK finally blows through. A big miss. But
Brad,
just gets the touch.
It's gonna bounce.
They're gonna play it. Rufinho drops it.
Pre-jump.
Drops. No, it's not enough. Overtime.
He even got the flip reset. KRU knocking on that door. Falcons won't answer. Good kickoff. It could be revenge, but it's saved. TRK across the net.
Just in time. Trying to set it up. Drops. Getting in front of it. Drops trying to force the 50. Khaled gets there. Brad lifts it back up. Khaled gets it out. But next up, Rufinho. What's he got in the tank? Trying to get over Ahmad. He's finally broken through one. He bumps to another. Brad didn't believe in the play, but he got the dunk. Brad breaks the boom.
It all came down to Brad. He hit the brakes, let the defense panic, and dunked the life out of Team Falcons in Game 5. He waited patiently behind the ball, recognized the scrambled defense, and finally, something budges for KRU Esports. That was the one moment we might look back that changed the entire series.
That final minute where they were building that pressure, they were winning the boost battles, they were winning 50s, they were struggling for the last 3 games. And then, how many times have we seen a team build that much pressure, not actually score, and then overtime happens, they lose the kickoff, they lose all that momentum. That didn't happen for KRU this time.
And you're even seeing it with the shots counter. 17 in favor of KRU, 5 for Team Falcons. As we reflect on the Mobile One high performance replay. Look at the energy, look at the hype from KRU Esports. They're not done yet, and Falcons have every right to be worried about what they just witnessed, and we're gonna get a timeout from them.
Worried indeed. Momentum can flip so quickly. Crew down 3-1, but the Brazilians got some fight in them. Even when they went down 3-0, it still took 6 for Falcons.
And that's the most dangerous thing. I've never felt more confident in the bounce back of Crew Esports than I do in this series, mainly because it wasn't the defense that was lacking. I have questioned, South America as a whole, oftentimes, about their defense, whether or not they can truly compete with high-pressure situations. They came out in this series, first few games might not have gone their way, but they were showing up when they needed to with 50-50s, with goalkeeping rotations, always finding perfect spots against Team Falcons. Yes, TRK managed to break through, but that's a given with his performance. It all came down to the offense, building a succession of shots, a high amount of pressure, placing that on Team Falcons for a couple of minutes, even 30 seconds. That's what they needed, and they found it in that game.
Crew trying to get the crowd to give them their energy. Falcons hanging on to this match point. Crew have been on Neo Tokyo before, but they haven't been able to force the series to Champions Field. Happened against Falcons, happens against Liquid. Can they do it this time? It's the third time the charm turned. The Falcons, despite that, they have not looked bad. Falcons have been playing an excellent game. Crew have had to step up to the plate. Now on Neo Tokyo, they need one more to force it to Game 7. Falcons would love to represent the Middle East in the top 8. What's it gonna be?
This is the first time the Falcons will have to face some adversity and adjust against Crew Esports, who have roared back after getting beaten and bruised in the first few games, and their defense already tested.
Oh, and the 50 not gonna work out for Falcons there. Precarious, TRK just back in time. Crew immediately on the 50. Brad getting there in time, and Brad's been getting faster, getting to those challenges a lot quicker. He was slow a little earlier, losing those challenges to Ahmad, a little uncomfortable. This time though, Brad a little faster.
Brad and Drufinho, it came down to them showing up off the backboard. You've got to get a read. 2 mistakes, both whiffing. Falcons punish.
2 whiffs don't make a right. They make a goal for Falcons. You can't commit like that. Somebody's got to get a touch.
Something needed for Crew. Any touch, it doesn't matter what it is. Letting the ball bounce off the backboard will only lead to more pain in this series.
Oh, Ahmad, almost a scary one, but he gets back. Not gonna wait in the midfield. Just waits for Ahmad to pinch that ball right back out to him. Crew battling for the midfield.
I like this dribble attempt and monstrous 50-50. Crew have found more and more offense, while the defense now shaken up. It's almost like they can't find the proper balance. It's either too aggressive, too offensively minded, or too passive. They've got to find the middle ground, Jorby.
Meanwhile, TRK, a consistent threat. What a pass to nobody. Oh, you saw it, that's why. Crew are there hunting on the midfield line for bumps and demos. How about the redirect off the bar, and again a double commit for Crew. I think they get deleted again. Drops has to come in, protect it. Drufinho almost gets caught out.
Oh, he missed
now
again.
He misses the ball. Ahmad punishes.
Where is the backboard defense? Crew Esports, mechanical issues plaguing them. Drufinho can't get the touch, he's not in the proper position, and Brad has to try and recover. Pre-jump save, not enough, and Falcons 2-0 on match point.
It's certainly not how you build momentum after a tough win. For these mistakes to come out, the double commits, the miscommunication continues to plague Crew.
They've got to fix it up, Jorby. Otherwise, this game will get out of their own reach. 3-0. That might feel, or even be, impossible against Falcons. It's all up to Crew Esports and their response.
We saw Space Station do it against Rule 1, but it's going to be a tall task against Falcons. Drufinho gets a couple of 50s.
Here comes Brad.
Got a little bit of boost to work with, but TRK lets him come right in and forces Crew back to the opposite side.
It does feel like a waiting game. I've noticed so many players out of Crew Esports go for those demos, go for the physical plays. While their defense has been lacking, offense picked up in that last game, and they can certainly get back into this one. 2 goals to go as we approach the second half of maybe the final game.
More boost collected by Falcons. Crew just getting to these 50s. Brad, a full tank, a deletion from Falcons, and nothing there. The loose ball for Brad, or drops, he can't go. Drufinho has to come in.
Ahmad, nice control. Just wants a better 50-50, and he leaves it for his teammates. These guys, there's gonna be something special waiting for him on the other side. Ahmad Backboard defense does show up from KRU, and they've recovered.
Brad with a reset. You see Trevino trying to cause some chaos. He doesn't get a lot of value out of it.
Second man.
Ahmad flips over one. Trevino last man back, trying to protect the retreat for KRU.
Second man too late.
Oh!
Out of KRU, he got bumped. Goalkeeper gone. Goal given to Falcons.
Mr. Consistency is Ahmad. Off ball, on ball, into the net for KRU. See you later.
Oh, I think he just got smacked to outer space. Out of the way, says Ahmad. And the third goal given to Falcons.
Some hard-fought wins for KRU, but Falcons have exploded out here on Neo Tokyo. Oh, TRK, bit of a pirouette there. Trying to hang on. You're talking miracle mode here for KRU.
I mean, you feel like they have to get one. The next 30 seconds, you're looking at a 3-goal win for Team Falcons. They can cruise. They can go into autopilot, just focused on 50-50s. And surely take this series win unless we get something out of Brad. He's going for bumps. Rufino, nice follow-up, but he didn't keep it to himself. It's all up to Drops. The shot on target, and they've got a winning chance.
He finds the angle, whips out the protractor, and keeps KRU alive thanks to Trevino with the chaos. Whips the left, gets the bump, and Drops finds the impossible.
How does he get that angle? 9 times out of 10, you hit the post, but Drops is just built different.
They bought themselves a little bit of time, a minute 26. Down by 2. Always got to expect that Falcons attack, though. It has been lethal with Ahmad at the front, TRK right there behind him. And then with Khaled just making those soft touches in midfield. Made life difficult here for KRU.
Where's that South American MVP, Rufino? He can show up. We've got a lot out of Brad. We've got a lot out of Drops. And we've also got a lot of mistakes out of the defense. 3-goal lead for Falcons again.
It's a complete disaster for KRU in the midfield. Drops, he jumps for it, he had no boost. And it's just wide open, maybe expecting Brad to be back. But nobody was back. Nobody's home. And Falcons are looting the entire house.
And this has turned into a pattern between these two teams. They matched up again in the wild card. It was a 4-2 victory for Team Falcons. It might be the exact same scoreline. 51 to go. A miracle needed for KRU.
How about the story for Falcons? It's been a while for them to get this far. They've gotten 9th through 12th a couple of times at majors. They come here at the World Championship. Not since London in spring did we see them such a force. But here they are now, making a statement to get into the top 8. There's no time left here for KRU. Falcons, an incredible series for them.
Another one.
And it's all because of this man right here, Ahmad, making a pay.
TRK got us into this series, but Ahmad absolutely closed it out for Team Falcons. There's no getting back into this one. Falcons, the team that originally put MENA on the radar, on the map, got us all to notice them. And here they are, making top 8, securing a playoff spot at the World Championship.
And KRU will pick up a goal here. Trevino will pick it up. South America definitely taking their lashings in this tournament. Falcons really being the one handing them all out. Falcons are undefeated against South American teams. They alone own this region.
They own the region. They own Neo Tokyo. They own this series. And what a performance. And we also have to talk about, I think we haven't been mentioning O'Callaghan at all. He's been the glue for this roster, letting TRK do some work, letting Ahmad get himself involved on the play. And at the end of the day, it's gonna be Team Falcons who take the victory.
The Middle East have their representative in the playoffs. Falcons putting their chips on the table. And what a force. Ahmad dropping a hat trick.
Ooh, 713 points for that man. You love to see it. And for South America, you can still hold your heads high. Be proud of what KRU have accomplished through the wild card in the main event. These guys are surely nothing to laugh about, Jorby.
It was tough for KRU. They showed in a lot of these series, they played against teams like Twisted Minds. They really dominated against Twisted Minds right after getting whipped up by Falcons. And then a tough series against Liquid. Really, it's like tough is just the word. for Crew's entire journey here at the World Championship. And tough, as you see them
That's a beautiful
huddled
sight.
together. You love to see that team energy. Those guys all season, they fought so hard.
And this is how you heal the scars of losing on that stage, Jorby. You come together as a unit, as a team, to bounce back in the upcoming season, to bounce back in the future. Set your sights
But
on
it's
what
over
more
now
you can do.
for the South American MVP, Drafinho, for now. And Falcons, again, moving on to the playoffs. But next up, very interesting, the crowd has been filing in. You saw the blue wall on one side and complexity. That will be an interesting matchup for sure. Can another North American representative make it in?
It's been dramatic. It's been saucy, Jorby. This weekend has not let up. The action just keeps elevating. The level of play keeps elevating. And we're not even into Sunday yet.
Again, really impressed overall. Talked a lot about Ahmad, but at the start of that series, we were talking a lot about TRK.
Oh, yeah.
And he's on stage right now with Subi, so let's take a listen in with our victors.
Team Falcons get the job done and spread their wings to soar closer and closer to those grand finals. Congratulations are in order. I'm up here with TRK. And TRK, yesterday, your teammate Ahmad said that you don't care about seeding. You guys are just here to progress further and further, but you're close to those grand finals. What would it mean to you to hoist that grand finals trophy above your head?
أول شيء TRK مبروك الفوز لكم وللمنطقة كلها هون بالورلد تشامبيونشيب. امبارحة بس كنا عم نعمل انترفيو مع أحمد هون بعد الجيم، قالنا إنه ما بتفرق لكم شو السيدنج تبعكم، انتم جايين على التورنمنت، الهدف الأخير هو إنه تربحوا التورنمنت كله. هلا انتم تأهلتوا لنهار الأحد على بكرة، كيف محضرين حالكم؟ وين حتوصلوا بالآخر؟
أول شيء الله يبارك فيك، وصدق كلام أحمد ما تفرق اللي يجي معنا، وإن شاء الله بنفوز المباراة الجاية.
All right, and just as Ahmed said, it doesn't really matter to us. Well, no matter the seeding that we're in, we're going to come in, we're going to play our best, and tomorrow we will make sure that we pass it all the way deep in the tournament.
Now this is back-to-back World Championships for Team Falcons. It was a long journey to get Mina into Rocket League. Do you feel like this great community has taken yourselves under their wings to support you through and through?
أكيد هلا صار لكم تاني World Championship تقدروا تشاركوا فيها وتلعبوا، ومانا ما صار لها هالكم سيزون قادرة أنها تلعب بالورلد Championship. هل حاسس أنتم بهالسنة الماضية إنه الكوميونتي بروكت ليج واقفين وراكم بظهركم وعم بيساندوكم كمنطقة مانا وكلاعبين عرب؟
إيه صراحة والله المينا كلهم يحمسونا ويشجعونا وبس.
عالميا
إيش؟
كمان عالميا؟
إيه أكيد يعني يشجعونا محليا وعالميا.
Of course, we felt over the past year or so that we don't just get support from our own MENA and Arabic community, but also globally. We get people constantly supporting us, and we're very proud to be representatives of the region.
Now I think one of the greatest aspects of your team is the ability to stay disciplined on the field. How do you continue to do that event after event, especially with fans like this in the building?
أكيد أنتوا هلا صاروا شوي عم تتعودوا تكونوا على المين ستيج ويكون حواليكم كل هالفانز هيدي. كيف بتحس حالك هلا على المين ستيج وحواليك فانز كل الوقت عم بيشجعوا؟ هل الإحساس مختلف عن إنه تلعب باستوديو؟
والله صراحة شعور غير قدام الجماهير، يعطيك حماس وتفوز عشانهم ومرة حماس.
Of course, it's a completely different feeling of playing in front of a crowd than being in the studio. But here, they motivate you in the game, and they motivate you so much that you want to win to make them happy even more. So we're going to keep it up tomorrow.
Now, I've got to ask really quickly before we go, you play Team Vitality next, and just over our shoulders is a big section of Team Vitality fans. What's your message to them?
شو أقول لك للمشجعين فيتاليتي اللي حتلعب ضد فريقهم على بكرة؟
ما راح تفوزون.
You won't win tomorrow. The message is clear, and Team Falcons are ready to go.
The Falcons in the Middle East have stayed alive into the top 8, another top 8 performance here. The Falcons continue to stay consistent. They have earned themselves a battle against Vice.